So, welcome to all once again to the second session of this fifth day of our ATAL FDP on advances in solar photovoltaic and a design for e-vehicle. So, on this second session, we are another interesting topic. Okay, that will be related to some related to technology and science only, but it will be related to our past, that is ancient science and technology in India. Okay, now why this uh, session has been included? Actually, the government has decided, and even the accommodation at the central level has decided that the teachers, the scholars, and the students should have an feeling of nationalism. Okay, that they should feel proud that we are living in a country where a lot of things is there in the past, is there in the present, and our country will progress in the future also. Okay, so to have and proud and pleasure feeling towards our past, we should know about our country's past, and particularly in the field of science and technology, because generally it is believed that our country was lagging in the science and technology because it was put in our mind by some external people. Okay, but it was not the fact. In fact, a lot of development took place in the past also, in this country only, in our Bharat country only. Okay, so today through this lecture we are going to highlight that what was being done by our so-called rishis, which were the then scientists in the field of science and technology. What were their contribution? And once we will come to know about this contribution, we will feel proud that yes, our country was very rich in the past, is present also rich, and in the coming years also, if we work hard, then also it will become once again the guru of all the world. Okay, so what were there in the past? So I will take that lecture. Okay, the topic will be the science and technology in ancient India. So let me share the content. So this is my topic: science and technology in ancient India. Okay, so uh, at present, we all are being scholars of science and technology, and we know that this science and technology, which we are learning through different mediums, through books or through classroom teaching or through Google or anything, there everything has been obtained from the Western scientists. Though there is some contribution of Indian scientists also there, but that is very less. But we have to accept that this the present technology and science which we are reading in our colleges and school and in our higher education institute is being contributed by the Western world. So uh, what happens? A feeling come in the minds of the young generation and even among the mature people that we Indians were of our inferiority race, and we were not having any type of uh, advanced knowledge about the technology and science. But this is not the fact. Okay, because of our own karma, we have lost our ancient science and technology. Okay, and what happened that a race which was not culturally strong has dominant us in this field. Okay, though they are not culturally strong as we are, but we are still culturally strong, but we have forget our science and technology. So today I am going to highlight, okay, that what were the different contribution made by the different rishis and sages in this field. So you know that how the science and technology has developed. So the only concept that comes in the mind that the humans have had a desire. Okay. And at the beginning, when this desire starts, okay, they start inquiring into the nature. And this was not the today's thing. This was happening right from the prehistoric times, that the the human beings start finding out the things in the nature and start putting logic behind it, that for what purpose it is, how it is going to benefit me and my other welfare beings and all this. So this has this has arose a curiosity in its mind because of its desire only. Because when the man was born, he started feeling hungerness in his stomach. So he started eating something like plants and all this. Later on, he found that something grew on them also. He called it vegetable, fruits, and like this. Then he started investigating why I eat this thing, my hungerness gets satisfied. Then a lot of inquiry has been made. Then he started sleeping. Question why he's sleeping. Okay, what is the cause of sleeping? And sometimes people go into deep sleeping, which we call as a death. What is the cause of death? So many philosophical question also arise, and also materialistic question has also arisen. What is this? This is stone. Oh, this is very heavy. Some are very small. Can I use this stone for what purpose? Oh, if I throw on some animals, what will happen? Like this, lot of inquiry was there at the beginning, and later on, one who has gone into depth, he has found some answer to that. Okay, so similarly our rishis and munis in the past, okay, they have also gone into such deep state, and they have also found out many things from science and technology point of view, in addition to the philosophy and dharma and other things. So ancient India was a land of sages and seers, which we called as a rishi and muni, and there were a lot of scholars and scientists in this field. Okay, and how we come to know that yes, they were involved in science and technologies, because it has been found from the ancient inscriptions that we were having the best steel in the world, we were having the best teachers in the world, we were we have set many laboratories in the form of Jantar Mantar and in the form of many astronomical laboratories at New Delhi and Jaipur and at Ujjain. Then we have also given so many mathematical theories, so many scientific theories. Okay, though they were in a coded form in Sanskrit language, and Sanskrit was not a common person language. Hence, later on, many wrong things have developed in among the persons who were being handed this responsibility of spreading this knowledge. And what happens, that every action demands reaction, so this knowledge was lost. And today we will find only few inscriptions, few literatures, few manuscripts are only there, okay, which are also in a coded language, coded Sanskrit language, that we say that yes, we were very backward because we could not understand it. However, in short, I can say our country, so called India, and in Hindi we call it as a Bharat, has a significant contribution in all the fields of science and technology, whether it is your mathematics, which include arithmetic, geometry, trigonometry, whether it is engineering, metallurgy, chemical, or your medicine, which include Ayurveda, and also astronomy, and many more. In fact, you name the branch, in every branch, in aerospace only, there is a complete literature called Vimana Shastra. Okay, and it is being said that the this Vimana Shastra was being transferred to the Germany, and that the German people, they himself, after discovering this, they said that yes, we were being helped by the Indian Shastras, Vimana Shastra, in developing the helicopter and aeroplane and all this. So these people are somehow, they are also either in a hidden way or in a low voice, they say that yes, we are being helped by the Indian Shastras. So first of all, to go into detail about what is the contribution of the sages and seers in science and technology, first to understand what is the word science and then technology. पहले हम ये समझते हैं कि साइंस क्या है और उसके बाद समझेंगे टेक्नोलॉजी क्या है. तो नो डाउट आप सभी लोग साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी के स्कॉलर रह चुके हैं और अभी भी स्कॉलर है, लेकिन फिर भी इस स्लाइड्स को आगे बढ़ाने से पहले मैं कुछ आपको इसके बारे में, साइंस इज नथिंग बट अ सिस्टमैटिक नॉलेज about a particular field of study, okay, that builds an organized knowledge in the form of testable explanation. So organized knowledge is there. For example, you study biology, okay, so you study human system. So human system, first of all you study the brain, then you study the digestive system, then respiratory system. So in an organized way you study. Similarly, if you study mathematics, mathematical science, what happens, you study first of all addition, you first study numbers, then addition, then subtraction, then multiplication, then division, and then some problem of simple interest and like this. So there is sequence is there that is complete in an organized way, and each and everything has some logic behind it. That is what I mean by that testable explanation is also there. Okay, so logic is associated with it, and according to that logic, some tools have been invented which we are using to solve our problem. So science is basically an systematic knowledge equipped with logic and some predictive tools. Now, science gives only the fundamentals about the things happening in the nature. Okay, for example, the apple is falling, okay, from the tree. Newton has observed it, so he says that yes, there is some force. He named it as a gravitational force. Okay, in Hindi we call it as a Gurutvakshan Shakti. So he has just propounded a principle. So with logic, yes, some force of attraction is there, okay, which attract each and every body in the universe. Okay, now this same science, when through some technology, okay, is applied to obtain certain usable product, we call it as a technology. So some technique is being applied by using the scientific principles, and we obtain a usable product. We called that technique as a technology. Okay, so a lot of electrical technology is there. So somebody has given principle of current, somebody say the voltage, somebody say power, somebody say energy. So these are all scientific fundamentals. Later on they said that if current is there, why it cannot be used to rotate a motor? Yeah. When currents, because Oersted has given that current flows, a magnetic field is produced around it. Oersted ने बताया था कि अगर एक कंडक्टर से करंट फ्लो होता है तो उसके आसपास मैग्नेटिक फील्ड प्रोड्यूस होता है. तो लोगों ने क्या किया, दो कंडक्टर लाए और दोनों के बीच में करंट फ्लो किया, तो दोनों में मालूम पड़ा कि दोनों कंडक्टर अपने आप में एक पर्टिकुलर ओरिएंटेशन में अगर फील्ड होगा तो अट्रैक्ट करने लग जाएंगे. इसका मतलब उन्हें टॉर्क प्रोड्यूस हो जाएगा. तो इसी कंसेप्ट को यूज किया हमारे मोटर में यूज किया कि क्यों ना हम दो वाइंडिंग ऐसी लें, दोनों में करंट डालें और दोनों एक दूसरे को इस प्रकार सहायता करें कि एक जो जिसमें हमने रोटर लगा रखा है वो घूमने लग जाए. ठीक है, एंड दस वी ऑब्टेन अ मोटर. ओके, और इसी कंसेप्ट पे जनरेटर है, इसी कंसेप्ट पे हमारे जैसे म्यूचुअल इंडक्शन का प्रिंसिपल है, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ म्यूचुअल इंडक्शन और science subject people learn in science also, and we study in electric engineering also. On that concept your the transformer is based, जिससे हमें सारे घर पे सप्लाई मिल रही है, हमें एसी सप्लाई मिल रही है. ठीक है, तो एक यूजफुल प्रोडक्ट आ गया थ्रू दिस इलेक्ट्रिकल टेक्नोलॉजी. ओके, so you have understand the word science and technology. Science gives the fundamental principle in a logic and a systematic and an organized way, while technology use the scientific principle to create some usable product, device, equipment or anything. And one thing I would like to highlight, that we call India as a Bharat. Okay, and the word Bharat, no doubt it was the name of a king Bharat. Okay, so people says that in Mahabharata it is written that on his basis name only, because the Pandavas and Kauravas belong to his dynasty only. So we named it as a Bharat. But basically this Bharat means always aspired to a better knowledge. Okay, so what a beautiful name is there. A country with the with aspiration like to have a better knowledge every time. Okay, in that country we are living, so we should be proud that the name of our country also reflects certain very excellent positive things. That is the beauty of our country name, and that is why whenever we end certain things we say Jai Bharat, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Now let's come to the some contribution made by our Indian sages and seers. The first name is the I will take the name of Aryabhatta, who has given the idea of zero. Now, this concept was also being given by the Europeans, that yes, you are the contributor of zero, and who has given this Aryabhatta. But this I consider as a misnomer. No doubt, Aryabhatta has given the symbol of zero. You can see it's the shivling form. Okay, he said that the zero should be of like this shape, but it was not that zero was not there at that time. Zero was there before Aryabhatta. Because I will highlight some example. Everybody has gone through the epic Ramayana. सभी लोग रामायण एपिक से भली भांति परिचित है. रावण के 10 मुख. So 10 where the 10 quantity involves zero. So zero was there during the Ramayana period also. Akshoni Sena in Mahabharata. So when you write the Akshoni, then definitely you have to consider the zero also. Okay. So Kaurav in 100, this saw 100 also, two zeros are involved in it. So basically 0 was already there. No doubt it was being contributed by our sages only. Okay, right up from the Treta Yuga during the Ramayana period, then in the Mahabharata Dwapar period also, and but in the Kali Yuga period, it was being given symbol in his book called Aryabhatiya. So there was a book contributed by, two books were contributed. One book is not available, and the other book is, that is called the Aryabhatiya. Okay, written by Aryabhatta. He was a great mathematician, astronomer, astrologer, and many things are being attributed to him. So it was he first of all used this symbol 0, okay, and added to the maths. Okay, so this was very well contributor, and later on it is being transferred to the Arabs, and the Arabs transferred to Europe, and the Europeans call it, some European scientists call it, oh, this 0 was being invented by the Arab people, but it was not the fact. It was there by our sages only, and later on the symbol which we are using today is being given by the Arya Bhatt. Then come the so-called the decimal system. Okay, you know that decimal system plays an important role. Okay, and in fact during grading marks also. Okay, if it is greater than 5, then it is make a whole number. If it is less than 5, then the previous number is retained. So this was also being given by the Indian sages only. Okay, and you will surprised to know that it was in the early Vedic period only. Okay, that is before Christ only. A decimal number was already established in India. Okay, in the form of the arithmetical operation which we call as Anga Ganita, and the Rekha Ganita, that is the geometry which we called as an. Okay, and there were some sutras were there. Okay, and these sutras were mentioned for developing the sacrificial fire, जिसे हम कहते हैं यज्ञ कूप मंडप. Okay, so for developing that yagya mandap, okay, these sutras were being used, and in these sutras decimal system was also being there. The next is numeral notation. Now we are very comfortable with numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and the Europeans called it that they were being given by the Arabs, but it was not the Arabs, it was the Indians only who gave this numeral number, and later on through traders, because many Indians used to trade with the Arab countries. So with many scholars have gone with traders, and they taught the Arab people that these are the numerals being used for our accounting purpose, for our different trading purpose. Then later on from Arab it is being transferred to the Europe, and so European scientists called it that these numeral notation 1 to 9 came from Arab, but it is not the fact. It is from our India only, and many scholarly work has mentioned it. Okay, for example, I have a example I have taken from, not from modern day, but I have taken from Ramayana. In Ramayana, in many slokas, the many numerals notations are being used, and they were Eka, Dasha, Shata, Sahasra, Laksha, Koti. Okay, so the power notations at present which are also using Eka, 10 raised to the power 0. Dasha, 10 raised to the power 1, 10. This is called Shata, means 100. Okay, शतक मारा, हमने क्रिकेट में कहते हैं ना शतक, तो ये शतक वर्ड बेसिकली संस्कृत से ही आया है. ठीक है, शत का मतलब होता है 100, और जब खेल में ये कोई 100 रन पूरा करता है तो इसका अर्थ होता है 100. ओके, सहस्त्र, ओके, 1000, 10 raised to the power 3. लक्ष्य, तो आज हम उसको लाख कहते हैं, लाख. ओके, बेसिकली द वर्ड इज लक्ष्य, मीन्स वेरी 1 lakh. ओके, कोटि, that is 10 lakh, 10 raised to the power 7. Shanku, Mahashanku, Vranda, 10 raised to about 22 is considered Vranda. Mahavranda, 10 raised to about 27. So means you see that how decimal system was there. Today at present the people are talking about, now the Europeans have, or the American system, billion, trillion they get, but already it was there in the Ramayana. Okay, Padma, okay, 10 raised to about 32 is being Padma. Okay, then there is a Kharva, 10 raised to about 42. So if you go through this Ramayana that is written by the Valmiki, okay, Valmiki Ramayana, not Tulsi Ramayana, it is Valmiki Ramayana, you will find all this type of this power notations, okay, in the form of name only. Then later on people have found in many literature that these are being used, and found that this, when we say samudra, then samudra, no doubt one is that the ocean we called it as a, okay, but the another mathematics point of view is 10 raised to power 52. Similarly, ogha, then mahodha, 10 raised to power 62. Then the same thing were found in some many texts which were being there in the 7th century, 5th century or 6th century, written by the different Indian scientists. Even some in Jainism and Buddhism literature also you will find these type of these names like Padma and Mahapadma and Kharva and all this. And in Mahabharata also, Akshoni Sena of the Kauravas, Akshoni Sena of the Kauravas we mentioned. So that was, Akshoni was also very bigger quantity. So you cannot say that these notations were not given by the Indians. It was there, it was being used, but it was not being publicized. That is the important thing, because we call our Shastra as a Shruti. Shruti simply means transfer from one person to another by just hearing, okay, by hearing. Okay, so when a guru finds that yes, this person is capable to listen my each and everything and can memorize also, then only he used to make the shishya, and accordingly the knowledge was being transferred. But later on, um, something went wrong, so this transfer system became obsolete, and then people started forgetting the things, and then the new system developed by the foreigners came in our India, and now we remember only that new system only. Another mathematical figure, Fibonacci numbers. Okay, now what are these Fibonacci numbers? These are also called as God numbers. Okay, so those who are from science or engineering background, they might have gone through Fibonacci series. Okay, in mathematics, in computer science, Fibonacci is there in mathematics also, and in computer science also. They might have. This is the, I will one again one. So 1, you add the number just preceding it. 1 plus 1, next number will be 2. 2 plus 1, next number will be 3. 3 plus 2, next number will be 5. 5 added to 3, it will be 8. 8 added to 5, it will be 13. 13 added to 8, it will be 21. So in this way, this series goes on. This is called Fibonacci series. So Fibonacci was a Greek mathematician. So, but it is not the Fibonacci series. At present, it is being taught in our higher education or lower classes. It is a Fibonacci series, but it was already given by Pingla in his well-known mathematics book, and he called as a Matra Menu. So this, you can see this picture. Okay, so just okay, sorry, yeah. So you can see this picture. This is a Fibonacci 1, 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5, and like this. So, and you will find that these numbers you will find in nature, in many plants, in many fruits. A pineapple has been shown. So once you if you are free, then you can purchase one pineapple, and you will surprised to know that the pineapple, these grooves are in the Fibonacci series only. So people call these as God numbers, because why they are in such form, no one knows. Even petals of certain flowers in this form only. There is a one petal between, around it there will be 3, 5, 8 and all this. So no scientist has found out that what is the reason behind it. So they called it that God has created it. So these are natural numbers. Okay, so they called it a God number also. But the same pattern was being presented by Pingala and called it as a Mitra Meru. Then later on, they were also being given by mathematician like Virakala, Gopala, and Hemachandra. Before this Italian mathematician, okay, so it was Italian mathematician Fibonacci introduced this fascinating sequence to Western European mathematicians. So still we call it a Fibonacci series rather than the Pingala series. Then next come the binary numbers. Okay, these 1010. In fact, our whole computer system is based on these two binary numbers also. So again, the credit goes to the Vedic scholar Pingla. Okay, in his book called Chandaha Sastra. Chanda Sastra. Okay, he has mentioned that these 1 and 0 can be used to form certain sutras, and these sutras were used for the study of poetic matrices and verses. Okay, so in a decoded form, in a sorry coded form, in a coded form. So it was not that it was the modern scientist has evolved it for computer programs, but the our Indian scientist, the Indian Vedic scholar Pingla has used for the study of poetic metrics and verses. Then we generally say that the algorithms are being given by the Western people only, that they give algorithms, you implement, you convert into program, and then you will get a generalized result for any number you give, for any input data you give. Okay, but it was a Chakravaka method is a cyclic algorithm to solve intermediate quadratic equations, including the Pell equation. So this is you may not have come across, because this mathematics students or scholars might have gone through Pell equation and intermediate quadratic equation, and this can be solved by the Chakravala. Chakravala has given an algorithm which he called a Chakravala method algorithms. So, and who has developed it? It was the developed in a well planned form by Brahmagupta. He was also one of the 7th century mathematician. Another mathematician, there was a Jayadeva. Okay, he later on generalized this method uh, in his own in his book, and this was being further being refined by Bhaskara II in his treaty called Bij Ganita. Okay, so Bij Ganita was an manuscript being written by Bhaskara II, in which he has refined this complete algorithm. Okay, to solve the so-called the interdeterminate quadratic equations. Then again, the ruler which we are using, okay, we say that it is again a contribution of the Western world. It is not that scientists have done excavations at the Harappan sites, and they found many rulers, and these rulers were so much calibrated that in accurate form that still scientists are surprised that through what technique they have calibrated all these things. Okay, so there was a 3 by 8 inch increment is there. Okay, so still scientists could not understand that how with such an accuracy and precision this calibration was being done, and still this type of things are being used in South India. Okay, now come in the chemistry. Everybody knows that in while going through the physical chemistry, we were being told that the smallest element of the smallest part of the any element is the atom. Okay, and we generally give the credit to the Dalton theory of atom. Okay, then later on it was the Johnson, then Rutherford, who has given that there is a nucleus is there which consists of proton and neutron, and then Bohr's theory is there that how electrons revolves and all this. But these only Western scientists are contributable. You're surprised to know that there was Rishi called Kanad Rishi. Okay, in his well-known Sanskrit sloka, he has given that the smallest particle of any element is called anu, and this anu can have two states, which is called absolute rest and a state of motion. Okay, okay, and then he said that if the same substance combined with each other in a specific way in a synchronized manner, then we have a dvya anuka, or we that in a scientific language and presently we call it as a diatomic molecules. And if three such combine, then we have trianuka, and we call it as a triatomic molecules. Okay, so still research is going on, and people are deciphering his slokas and sutras. Okay, so we will get more knowledge, but the thing is that it is very clear that the science and technology was developed at that time, but it was in a coded form. His common person could not understand, and later on it was being not transferred, and that is why it has lost. Then come the astronomical theory propounded by the Aryabhatta. As I've already told you, the many things contributes to the Aryabhatta. Okay, the zero, Western people say zero was also contributed by, but the main contribution of the Aryabhatta lies in his astronomical work. Okay, he propounded that the Earth is round and that also in elliptical shape. At that time, the Greeks were assuming the Earth is flat. Okay, when their guru Aristotle told that no, Earth is not flat, he was being killed. But in India, it was uh, believed that Earth is round, rotates on its own axis, and revolves around the sun. These all are being propounded by the Aryabhatta in his book Aryabhatya, and he called this as a heliocentric theory. This Western scientists name it a heliocentric theory. Another contribution of Aryabhatta, which I will explain you, is regarding the word pi. Okay, everybody knows that a lot of research is going on the pi. So what is pi? Basically, the pi, in fact, why there is so much nuisance about the pi? Can anybody can tell me why there is so much nuisance is there about the pi? The reason behind it that the can anybody can tell me that what is pi is there? Just a discussion point of view. I will tell you later on what pi is. But just I want to know that can anybody can tell me that what pi physically signifies? Anybody? We just know mathematically that it is 3.1416, and people have found that after decimal they have found millions of values is there. So basically it is nothing but an effort was being made to construct and circle whose area is similar to equal to of a square. Okay. So what happens that if you have a circle like this, and if you take 1 by 1 meter or centimeter square, and now you start fitting in that circle, okay, then you will find that no doubt you can fit these tiles, square tiles in it, but ultimately some area will be left. So you cannot fit all square tiles in the circle. So what happens? The effort has been made how we can minimize it. Okay, and that minimized level is your pi. And Aryabhatta told the value of pi in a very simpler way that you can practically also calculate. He said that for any circle in this universe, the ratio of circumference of that circle to that of diameter is constant. ये बहुत बड़ी बात बताई थी और यही हमारा पाई है. आज की मॉडर्न साइंस जिसे पाई कहती है उसको इस प्रकार डिफाइन किया था आर्यभट्टा ने कि किसी भी सर्कल का कहीं भी ब्रह्मांड में कहीं चले जाएं उसके सरकमफ्रेंस और डायमीटर का रेशियो जो है वो हमेशा कांस्टेंट रहता है और इसी कांस्टेंट को हम आज की तारीख में पाई कहते हैं. ठीक है, क्योंकि आज का जो फॉर्मूला है तो उसको अकॉर्डिंग क्या कहते हैं 2 पाई आर. Circumference is given by 2 pi r and diameter is given by 2 r. Okay, so 2 will cancel, r will cancel, and we are left with pi. The same value, the Aryabhatta was talking about the same value, and he has also calculated to up to 10 decimal places or 11 decimal, I don't remember, but he has also calculated this value, and that was true to the present value, very close to the present value. So it means that our Indian mathematicians were also aware of this value pi. That's what I want to highlight. Then come the so-called Woods steel. Okay, so the people generally say the steel was concept of steel, that is a carbon mixed with some particular type of phosphorus, all this, and such a material is being obtained which has no chemical reaction on it. And at present in our Indian kitchen, we are all having the steel utensils rather than copper or brass or bronze or like this. So we say that steel is a concept, is a gift from the Western scientists, but it is not there. Steel was there in India and it was being named as wood steel. It is a crucible steel that have many bands on it. Okay, and it is named by many Hukku, Hindwani, and Sarik iron and all this. And for what purpose it is being used? It is used to make the swords. Okay, which is being used by the king during by kings and soldiers during the war. So it was a very versatile steel. Okay, very hard and very strong, not breakable easily, and it is used by the many people in South India during their war. Okay, but now it's how to manufacture it, how to make it, that technique has lost, but still its name is being mentioned in many inscriptions. Then smelting zinc. Okay, so we have found in India was the first, in fact, to say to smelt zinc by the distillation process. This was an advanced technique, but later on it was being discovered in 18th and 19th century that how you can smelt and zinc. And India is a good producer of zinc also. In Udaipur also we have a very big MNC, very big international company called Hindustan Zinc Limited. So Udaipur is also having very large amount of zinc oxide is there, from which zinc is being taken out. Okay, so and you will surprised to know that this technique was present in our uh, so-called town nearby Udaipur only, called Jawar, and we have a Jawar mines there. You will find a lot of zinc oxide there, from which zinc is being uh, taken out, and it is being run by the Hindustan Zinc only. So Jawar mines, Jawar is a Teri village of Rajasthan, which is near to Udaipur only. Okay, and the scientists have found that yes, techniques were there of smelting zinc at that time also. There is another controversy, seamless celestial globe. Okay, so this was being made by in Kashmiri Ali Kashmiri ul Luqman in the during the period of Emperor Akbar. So it is also available at present. Okay, in in some museum. So this was also a technique, the how it has been casted. So this was also a surprise for the scientists, that what was the tools and what techniques were being used to develop this seamless celestial globe. Then come a very important science, the Ayurvedic science. Okay, so basically people treat it that the Ayurveda is meant to diagnose the people when people are ill. It is not there. It is not there. In fact, the Ayurveda, as the name suggests, it is an science how to increase your life, how to increase your immunity, how to increase your life, so that how to increase your body uh, growth, so that you can have an age of 100 years. Okay, so uh, having the use of medicine is a secondary part. The primary part is that how you should live. How should you live so that you can sustain your life up to 100 years? That is the main motive of the Ayurveda. But the present allopathic system is just meant how to cure yourself if you are ill, or if you are suffering from any disease. Ayurveda no doubt provides solution when you have having any disease, but it is a secondary work. The primary work is that how to live life for a year up to 100 years. Okay, and the main credits goes to Charak. Okay, and this book is also available in 2 volumes, and many authors have well explained it also, called Charak Sanhita. Okay, however, the Europeans or the Western people believe the Hippocrates, a Greek physician, to be the father of the present medicine, allopathic medicine. But before them only, we were having the Charak, who has written this book called text called Charak Sanhita. Yes, Dr. Pathak has written a very good. It is for prevention rather than cure. Yes, it is. In fact, how we can live a happy life. This was the motive of Ayurveda. Okay, and in between this, if you have some problem in the form of disease or anything other problem, then it is a secondary work to find its cure. Okay, but the main idea is that how we can live a life of 100 years in a healthy and a heartily way. That is the basic idea of Ayurveda. And Charak Samhita, you will find the sutras. Now people have all decoded all the sutras, and well authored book in Hindi and in the English are available, even online. And if anybody is interested, I have full collection of Ayurveda books written by different people in Hindi as well as English, and that is also in a good printable form on so-called glossy papers. So you can go through it. Even Baba Ramdev has also uh, uh, launched some book on Ayurveda. Okay, and that is very on a good paper. So you can, if you are interested in Ayurveda, you can go for it. So all the concept of digestion, metabolism, immunities are being mentioned in it, and what to eat, what not to eat, during which season what to eat, during which season you should prohibit yourself from eating that. I think everything is being mentioned. Okay, then this Ayurvedic system continues in the 6th century also, where another sage come, that is a Sushruta, and his text is known as Sushruta Sahita. And in Sushruta Sahita, many things others are also mentioned, but the main important things are surgery. Surgery is also being mentioned in it. So it is believed that the surgery is being contributed by the Western scientists. And I will tell you one small story that one of the British colonel has lost his nose. In fact, his nose was cut by some Tipu Sultan soldier. So he, because his nose was cut, so how to go to his own country, England? So he start hiding in the villages of the South India. So in Tamil Nadu, when he was roaming here and there, he met some people who told them that we have a very good Ayurvedic physicians, sorry, the doctors, surgical doctors, that they can treat your nose. So that English person lived there for 1 month, and a complete treatment was being made, that which we presently we call as a plastic surgery. And then during that month he has written all the procedures on some papers, and then he elaborated all these things when he went to his own country, the United Kingdom, and told their medicinal scientists that this is the technology or this is the science is there in India, where a particular type of surgery, which we now call the plastic surgery, is also being accomplished in South India. And there is not one doctor. There is so many doctors are there to treat it. Then Western scientists has copied it, because in India we don't have any concept of copyright. Our seers and sages have written it, and they have given this knowledge to only those persons who are really willing to have that knowledge and work on it. So it is not that you give admission to each and every person. Okay, in the present democratic system, okay, you cannot stop any person. Anybody can enter it through hooks and crooks. Okay, whether he is interested or not, but he simply want degree. But at that the ancient time it was not there. Only those persons who deserves, and the guru were in such a position, they came to know through their intuitions only, that whether the so called coming person is deserve deserve this knowledge or not. So accordingly they used to select it. And the cataract surgery was also mentioned in Sushruta Sahita, and is being taught to the Ayurvedic student also during the course period. Then there is a called the so-called the missile. Okay, so rocket. Okay, and this was being mentioned by our ex president Abdul Kalam sir also, that the this rocket or missile was being developed by Tipu Sultan when he was having war with the Britishers. Okay, so on that it was being developed, and later on the same was being copied and developed and being used by the Western people, and now we have a missiles. Another scientist I would like to mention is the Bodhayana. Okay, so and special mention is that Bodhayana has wrote a book called Sulba Sutra. So once you find this book, you will find that in that a Pythagoras theorem is already there. Today, what we call is a Pythagoras theorem is nothing but a Bodhayana Sutra is there, and how it is there, I will explain it. He has given us a simple sloka which has now been decoded. It was a Dirga Chaturasya Shanaya Rajju Parshvamani Tireka Mani Cha Yatta Prathaga Bhute Kurutasta Dubhyam Karoti. Now, what does this mean? So, let us me explain me. he has not explained for triangle. He said that if you have any rectangle, okay, rectangle means having four sided. So now for any side, if you draw a square, so this is a length, I draw this square, its area will be a square. Now along its breadth, I draw another square, okay, breadth side is a b, so its area will be b square. So he said that tiriga means diagonal. Tiriga means diagonal. He said that the area of the square drawn on the sides of a rectangle, the sum of the area of the square drawn on the sides of a rectangle is equal to the area of the square drawn on the diagonal. Sorry, there is some problem. Oh, sorry. So if I will draw a square on the diagonal, let diagonal side is C. So according to the Bodhayana, the sum of the area of the square drawn on the sides of a rectangle is equal to the area of the square drawn on the diagonal. So what you find that the a square plus b square is comes out to be c square. Okay, so Pythagoras has limited it and put it forward for the triangle, because triangle is formed in the rectangle. So he said that this for the triangle it is true, but the generalized theorem was put by the Bodhayan, and these all sutras were being meant for constructing the Yagya group mandal, where the rishis used to perform uh, a certain karma kand process was there. Okay, so these all sutras were meant for this, and another sutra was circling the square. How to circle a square? The idea was to find out finding a circle whose area is same as that of the square. Okay, so that concept was also given by Bodhayan. Another was square root of 2. Okay, so at present we all know that square root of 2 is 1.41414, but Bodhayan has already given this formula, and how this is given that the length of the diagonal square in terms of its side, which is equivalent to the formula for the square of 2. And what is that? That the measure is to be increased by a third and by a fourth, decreased by the 34th. So it is like this 1. Oh, sorry. So you can see this is root 2. So it is 1. You add 1 by 3 and then increase by 1 by 3, 1 by 4, and then decrease by 1, 3 and 34. So you will get an approximate level 577 or 408. So when you will divide it, you will find 1.414216. That's what we are using today. So such an advanced thing was there at that time, okay, that people were knowing each and everything. In Aryabhatta, if you read Aryabhatta, then you will find that all the methods of finding square and cubes were also given in it. Okay, so there is a one book published by Chinmaya Mission from Kerala related to Aryabhatta. Okay, if you find, you can online order it, and if you have interest, you can read it also, that all the formulas propounded by the Aryabhatta were being deciphered in that book. Okay, so emphasizing that yes, mathematics, astronomy, trigonometry, everything was there in our ancient India, but due to our own karma, we have lost it, we have forgot it, and at present we are finding few manuscripts only which are depicting that yes, science and technology were there in India. Another example I will to highlight that the iron pillar of Mehroli. Okay, so what is that beauty in it? Okay, now people have there, because for last 100 years or 200 years, people could not understand that this pillar is standing for last 1000 years, but not, though it is iron pillar, but not a single sign of rusting is there. But now you take any iron from any market and place it in the air, it will get rusted within a day. But it is for last 1000 years, it is not being rusting. Recently, only after the advent of nanotechnology, people have found that the nanoparticles of phosphorus are added in the iron. Okay, and that is making that changing the property of the iron, that iron never get rusted. Okay, so you can imagine that nanotechnology is the technology of 21st century. It was prevailing 1000 years ago. Okay, similarly, I will suggest some YouTube videos. Okay, many people are working on it. There is one person from Kerala. His YouTube videos in the name of Shivom project. Okay, so if you are interested in going through that, what was the Indian technology, what was the Indian science, then you can go through video. Another person named Shankar. He's also from South India. He's in fact uh, visiting the different temples of not only India but some other countries like Indonesia and all this. And what the beauty is that he is depicting, वो बता रहा है कि देखो ये टेम्पल में ये जो बना है इसके पीछे रीजन है. And through his own research he found that mobile technology was there in India. In fact, the electricity concept, wireless transmission of electricity was also there in one South Indian temple. He found that the temperature of the shivling changes. He was also given the logic behind it, why it changes. Here also mentioned that the all the ideals which are being there in most of the South Indian temples, they were all were depicting that time technology. They were all were depicting that time technology. Okay, through his own research he found that yes, this ideal is just not for show piece. जैसे आजकल हम मंदिरों में शो पीस के लिए लगा देते हैं, but at that time it was not for show piece. Each and every ideal was depicting some science and technology being propounded by our ancient sages and rishis. Okay, so you can go through that YouTube video is in Hindi also, in English also, so as per your language you can go for it. So many YouTube videos are also there, people are working on it. Okay, and this type of knowledge in fact produce a nationalism feeling among them. Okay, okay, so that we feel a proud that yes, in our country there are a lot of things is there. And still I say that in our country is full of natural resources, full of knowledge, full of skill, just you have to work on it. Okay, so thanks a lot, okay, for bearing patient and listening to my content on the ancient science and technology in India. I have tried my best to provide you knowledge in a very concise way. Okay, and I will try that in some another platform. Okay, we will I will discuss some more details about all this science and technology in India, because I am working on it and I applied for some projects to Government of India also. Hope Government of India will sanction it, because I am also interested in reviving all my ancient science and technology. Okay, so that we can have uh, a very good environment, a positive environment towards our country. So, any question, please? Any discussion, please? Okay, somebody is interested in a Patanjali book. I will show you that Patanjali book. Just wait for a minute. Uh, uh, I will show that. I am just. So it is there somewhere inside my racket. So my box. So tomorrow I will show it. But today I am showing another book. This is Gita Vigyan Upanishad. So the author is Gulab Kothari, and it is a well scientific book. I am having so many collection of so many books. So I just found it was lying on my table. Okay, I was just reading it. This is book. So you will find in this book also so many scientific things which are being there in our uh, Gita. Okay, so Gita book you will find many in the market, but this book is completely scientific, scientific with logic. Okay, so if anybody is interested, then he can go through those, being published by Patrika Prakashan. Okay, the Gita Vigyan Upanishad. I have some other book also. I can show you. Now, this is another book. I have a this is a Brahmagupta Ganitam. It was you can see the Brahmagupta Ganitam. Okay, it was being published by Chinmaya International Foundation, Sodh Sansthan, Kerala. Okay, so Brahmaguptam, all it is in English language. All the sutras are being decoded by Venugopal D. Heror from Kerala, and being with example, it has been illustrated what the sutra means and what the its application is. Okay, so I have shared some book also. I have a lot of books. Okay, some when you come offline, I can show you that books also. So I think so. If there any question, then please.
सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद
हाँ
और
सर, बहुत बहुत
बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव रहा ये सेशन और एक चीज शायद छूट रहा था इसमें से
बताइए सर।
और उसको मैंने कवर कर दिया योग से कवर कर दिया पतंजलि के विषय में जरा सा छूट रहा था बस आनंद की
हाँ,
अनुभूति
बस बस
और
सॉरी सॉरी, आई एम सॉरी सर। यस, सो
जरा सा बस
पतंजलि मेथड इज
पतंजलि छूटे बस और कोई
कंटिन्यू।
बात नहीं बहुत बढ़िया फिर फिलहाल आपने नाम तो ले लिया था पतंजलि बुक काफी श्रेष्ठ है इसमें और योग सूत्र इसमें होता है पतंजलि योग सूत्र तो पतंजलि जो है आपने तो ठीक है और गीता के विषय में तो बहुत अच्छा है और मानसिक संतुलन के लिए गीता में विनोबा भावे जी ने गीता प्रवचन करके था जो कि जेल में पब्लिश हुआ था तो ये सारी चीजें बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव है और अपने को इनकरेज करती है कि कम से कम भारतीय साहित्य और भारतीय सभ्यता पूरी तरह से भारतीय विज्ञान पर निर्भर है और उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपने बहुत अच्छा से इसको बताया पाई तो हम जानते भी नहीं थे बस खाली इतना ही सूत्र याद किया था हमने 22/7 होता है और लेकिन 2πr/2r तो ये आर कट गया तो पाई बच गया ये तो पहली बार सुना वैसे काफी इंफॉर्मेटिव रहा आई थिंक कि इसके बेस पर काफी इंफॉर्मेशन गेन करके अपने नए रिसर्चर हम अपना लाभ लेंगे ओके थैंक यू सर मिलने में बहुत अच्छे से चर्चा होगी
पाठक साहब, आपका बहुत
सो
बहुत धन्यवाद
हमारे
कि आपने हमें
थैंक यू सर
उत्साहित किया कि हमारे जो लेक्चर दिया। एक बात और कहना चाहूंगा कि जो
और
आर्यभट्ट ने जो
इसमें
पाई
सर
का जो
चिकित्सा
सर, मैं एक कहना चाहूंगा कि आर्यभट्ट ने जो पाई की वैल्यू दी थी वो बड़ी प्रैक्टिकल थी। प्रैक्टिकल ये थी कि आप
जी
सरकमफ्रेंस
जी
अपॉन डायमीटर, तो सरकमफ्रेंस को भी आप डोरी से मेजर कर सकते हैं। हमारे यहाँ पे कोई यंत्र नहीं था, केवल डोरी से आप मेजर करें एक एंड से लेकर दूसरे एंड तक, और डायमीटर को भी आप डोरी से मेजर कर लें, ठीक है, और फिर दोनों का रेशियो ले लें, तो वो एक कांस्टेंट वैल्यू आती है किसी भी सर्कल के लिए, और उसी को आगे चलकर पाश्चात्य वैज्ञानिकों ने उसका नाम पाई दिया।
आज स्टेचेस की बात करें तो 100 टाइप ऑफ स्टेचेस वहाँ सिखाए जाते हैं जो
अच्छा सर।
सर्जरी के क्षेत्र में जो ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है तो मद्रास में इसका ट्रेनिंग पहले हुआ करता था
बिल्कुल सर।
तो स्टेचेस 100 टाइप के स्टेचेस होते हैं
अच्छा
अभी
सर।
क्या है स्टेचेस तो डॉक्टर करते हैं लेकिन मोची से ये लोग सीखते थे पहले
बिल्कुल
आज
बिल्कुल
भी
सही।
वहाँ मोची से भी ट्रेनिंग लेते हैं तो दिस इज द कम फ्रॉम दैट इंसिडेंट कि वो मोची कितने प्रकार से स्ट्रेचेज कर सकता है जिगजैग मोशन में लीनियर मोशन में क्योंकि आज अभी भी मालूम है कि यदि ब्लेड से कट जाए तो आपका टाका नहीं लगता
हम्म
लेकिन फिर भी उसको वो एंसेंट माध्यम से वो लोग टाका लगाते हैं तो थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर द गिविंग वैल्यूबल एंड वेरी मोस्ट
नहीं नहीं, बहुत
इम्पोर्टेंट
बहुत
लेक्चर
आपको
सर
भी सर
थैंक
बहुत
यू वेरी
अच्छा नॉलेज है मुझे मिला सर। तो एक और मैं अपने
अरे सर,
सभी पार्टिसिपेंट को बताना चाहूंगा कि एक मेरा बहुत पहले से ख्वाब था कि हमारे जितने भी इंडियन जो भी मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट्स हैं, चाहे वो गीता के रूप में हो, चाहे वो मतलब भगवान से रिलेटेड भी है, वो सारे एक ग्लॉसी पेपर पे एक वेल डेकोरेटेड फॉर्म में आए। और गीता प्रेस गोरखपुर ने एक बहुत अच्छा काम किया है कि हमारे गीता
निश्चित
को
सर, मुलाकात होंगी हमारी। हमारे हमारे लिए कोई सेवा होगा तो बताएंगे सर, क्योंकि अभी इसे चल रहा है,
अच्छा
पंच का काम चल रहा है, जो अभी
अच्छा सर,
केरला तक सीमित था, वो उत्तर भारत में भी आ रहा है।
बिल्कुल सर,
तो उसमें से तमाम चीजों का शोधन कर रहे हैं कि शोधन के माध्यम से क्यों कार्यों पर प्रेशर डेवलप होता है, एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर, व्हाई वी कैन नॉट फील टू आवर बॉडी। क्योंकि वो प्रेशर यदि डेवलप हो रहा है एटमॉस्फेयर द्वारा, तो वो रोम छिद्रों द्वारा हम उसको महसूस नहीं करते हैं, अदरवाइज प्रेशर तो बहुत होता है। तो उस रोम छिद्र का उपयोग करके पंचकर्मा स्वास्थ्य के प्रति बहुत काम कर रहा है। इसमें आपके डॉक्टर शोभालाल औदिच साहब यहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं उदयपुर में।
अच्छा सर,
बहुत अच्छे से काम कर रहे हैं आयुर्वेद में वो भी।
बिल्कुल
और खाली रोम छिद्र से, जैसे कि इंसुलेशन इंसुलेशन मटेरियल, lubricant मटेरियल which are not which are responsible for the better cure system of the knee, और कमर का दर्द, घुटने का दर्द और कंधे का दर्द, इस पे बहुत बढ़िया काम कर रहे हैं। तो इसमें पंचकर्मा जो काम कर रहा है, वो भी अपने आयुर्वेद का सिस्टम है सर।
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल
तो
सही कह रहे हैं आप
इस पे
सर।
भी काम हो रहा है, मिलने पर चर्चा होगी काफी चीजें।
बिल्कुल
और
सर, बिल्कुल
ये
बिल्कुल सर।
ये स्क्रिप्ट ये स्क्रिप्ट बनारस में कुछ पांडुलिपियां रखी हुई हैं,
अच्छा सर,
संपूर्णानंद विश्वविद्यालय में आज भी पांडुलिपियां सुरक्षित हैं। कभी वहां जाएं आप, और आप यदि अपना पूरा परिचय देंगे तो वहां पे अंदर जाने को मिलता है। और छूने को तो नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि काफी पुरानी प्रतिलिपि है, जिसको आप कहते हैं पांडुलिपि। तो हस्तलिखित जो मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट होता है, उसको पांडुलिपि वहां कहते हैं, उसको कहते ही यही है। तो वहां वो सुरक्षित पड़ी हुई है। और वो हमने अपने मतलब जीवन में तो अब तक 40 वर्ष की अवस्था में उसको खुलते तो नहीं देखा उस बिल्डिंग को, लेकिन हाँ, साइंटिस्ट आते हैं तो उसके अंदर स्टडी करते हैं। पांडुलिपि फॉर्म में आपको वहाँ रामायण भी मिल जाएगा, जो हस्तलिखित कभी, और कबीर दास जी के भी ग्रंथ मिल जाएंगे, क्योंकि बनारस इन लोगों का हो रहा है। तो ऐसी चीजें जब देखने को मिलती हैं तो काफी अच्छा लगता है। और भारत माता मंदिर में आपकी सारी भाषाओं का मूल संस्कृत, और संस्कृत की नीचे सारी भाषाएं दी हुई हैं। तो वो देख करके भी खुशी होती है, और एक नया उत्साह उमंग जागृत होता है कि देखिए, संस्कृत के बाद हिंदी है, देवनागरी लिपि।
हम्म,
और उसके बाद भाषाएं दी हुई हैं, सारी भाषा, पंजाबी हो और असम हो, तमिलनाडु के क्षेत्र भाषा हो, केरला हो, सारी भाषाओं का भी वहाँ पे ज्ञान दिया होता है। तो इस तरह से चलिए सर, मुलाकात होगी तो काफी चर्चा होगी। धन्यवाद सर।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने भी हमें सर ज्ञान से लाभान्वित किया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप सभी लोगों ने पेशेंस रखा और मुझे सुना, अपना स्वर्णिम समय दिया। आप सभी का एक बार फिर पुनः धन्यवाद। ठीक है, यदि आपका कोई प्रश्न न हो तो मैं मीटिंग को यहीं एंड करता हूँ। थैंक यू टू वाहिद।